is born with a journey already preset and destined. All that we have to walk on, the path that comes our way. I've learned that आपका मन इंजीनियरिंग किताबों से ज्यादा वो सब कुछ करने में करता था जो आपका दिल कहता है. मैं हर बच्चे से एक बात कहता हूँ कि जब भी दिल और दिमाग के बीच में जंग हो तो दिल की सुनो, क्योंकि दिल बहुत कुछ कहता है, दिमाग कहता नहीं. दिमाग तो सिर्फ सिग्नल भेजता है, वो सिग्नल्स भेजता रहता है. जो लोग दिल की सुनते हैं वो वही काम करते हैं जिसे बोलते हैं जुनून, पैशन, या यूं कह लीजिए कि they are made to do something extraordinary, though we may be an ordinary one. सुमित, इक्फाई यूनिवर्सिटी जयपुर भी धीरे धीरे बदलाव की ओर बढ़ती जा रही है in terms of courses, in terms of curriculum, in terms of dynamism, and in terms of grooming students. Other day we had done a good webinar, and you'll be happy to learn the topic of the webinar is managing failure. We never talk about managing success, we talk about managing failure. क्योंकि हम जब से पैदा होते हैं, पेरेंट्स, स्कूल टीचर सब एक ही बात सिखाते हैं, दौड़ो दौड़ो. मैं कहता हूँ क्यों दौड़ना है मेरे को यार, कोई बता दो. और कब दौड़ूंगा और कहाँ तो दौड़ूंगा मैं, राइट? सो we welcome you to this Icfai University, and I believe that your talk of career by choice, not by chance, will surely motivate those students whom we consider below average, less than average, not so called meritorious in terms of number of grade. Welcome, Sumit. And when you happen to be Jaipur, please do visit this campus because this is your campus. Do support us. Thank you, Sumit. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
I hope you can hear me. I hope you can
Thank you very much.
well.
Sumit, now it's
Yep,
over to
yep,
you.
yep. Thank you. Thank you. So I think, first of all, thank you, everyone. And as I mentioned, 5 minutes back to Arun sir, Yogesh, and Dhruv, that I don't want to make this session all about Gyan. What I want to do is more of an interaction with people, more of an interaction with students, and see how we can, it's all about experience, guys. I think, sir just mentioned that what message I want to give to average, below average students. So frankly, I don't believe that there is a term called average or below average student, to be very frank. It's all about our mindset. I think it doesn't matter if you score 60 percentile or 50 percentile. It's what all matters is what exactly what you want to do in life, and what passion do you have to follow in your life. So I'll start with a quick introduction of myself. I think Arun sir kind of mentioned a lot of good 5-6 lines about me, but I'll give a brief intro of what I do. So currently I'm working with a company called FarEye. It's one of the most recognized brands globally in logistics and supply chain technologies. And I remember I joined this about 5.5 years back when we started from a very small room. So we have a small room of 5 people thinking about what we can do to kind of disrupt and digitize the entire logistic and supply chain. And just to give you a quick background, globally, all the countries spend about 18 to 20% in their defense. So the highest expenditure of any country is onto their defense because it's the most important thing. The second highest is on their logistic and supply chain and healthcare. And logistic and supply chain, a typical country spends about 10 to 12%, which is huge, which makes it a multi-trillion-dollar industry. And at any calamity, at any point in time, like for example, right now it's COVID, all those companies whose supply chain and logistics are efficient are able to deliver properly to the end customers. And the cities where supply chain and logistics are efficient are able to manage the demands of the customer. But those companies whose supply chain is not that great or they don't have technology are struggling right now. So that's what we thought 5 years back, and that's how we started the company. And it was not an easy ride. I mean, you can imagine being an Indian company, how to grow globally, to kind of go to places is not an easy thing, because I used to personally think when I was in college that countries like Germany, US, they have all kind of technology in place, and why will they buy a technology from an Indian company? But frankly, it was wrong. It was wrong when we actually went to these people, when we go to and tell them that what we do and how they can efficiently manage their supply chain. They were really impressed with it. So that's what our company does. We help companies to deliver better, and we help companies to know what's happening out there on the field. So you guys, whenever order a pizza from Domino's, which I'm sure you guys do often, just the kind of tracking you get, because when you're hungry, all you want to know is when your food is coming. That's running on FarEye. Whenever you order from Amazon and you get a delivery and you get messages that, hey, Sumit, your order is out. You can get it, tomorrow between this time and this time. That's happening from FarEye as well. So most of the big companies in India and globally are using FarEye technology, for automating and making sure that supply chain and deliveries are better. So that's what we do. And I think this session is not about what I do, but more about my experiences. And I think one thing is very important, guys. It's not about you can hear a lot of people talking, but that doesn't get you a success, or that doesn't get you a mindset where you can kind of avoid all the wrong things in life. That cannot happen, frankly speaking. It's just that we hear these things to see how we can avoid many failures. For example, without experience, you can fail 5 times, but with some experience, or by hearing or getting advice from few people, you can actually make sure that you don't fail 5 times, but you can only fail 2 times, which is okay, right? That's very important in life, because without failure, I don't think so you'll understand the real gist of what it takes to become successful. And frankly, I think first of all, it's very I really appreciate college, Icfai University, because I think when we were graduating, we don't have this kind of talk shows where people come and kind of tell us what you can do, what not. But I think right now your faculties are thinking about it, which is a great thing, because see, end of the day, hearing people experience is the most important thing you can do right now. By kind of living the life they have lived over a period of time, thinking about what we can do, what we not, and hearing from their own mouths that what exactly you should do and you shouldn't, right? So it's very, and I think that's a very good initiative from Icfai University right now, and I think I wish we should have this kind of sessions during our time as well. But I think never late than never. So that's a good thing, and I think thank you for all the faculties to kind of initiate this kind of session and all those things. Now I think coming back to where I started, I want to talk about my journey, and as I mentioned in my synopsis, which I shared with Arun sir, I was an average student, which any teacher can call me. And when I say average student, I think I always scored 62 percentile. I only used to study, what eligible me to kind of sit in the campus. That's it. I mean, because I always feel that end of the day, everybody is good in something. Frankly speaking, all you guys out there, doesn't matter if you score 50 or 60 or 80. I'm sure you're good in something, and I'm sure you'll figure it out during your journey in your life. I'm 100% sure about it. And I think the topic of this session today is choose your career by chance, choice, and not by chance. What does it mean? And I'll quickly give you a background. What does this mean? See, I think being from an engineering background, everybody always used to tell me that, hey, you should be a computer science graduate and kind of do coding in the company, or being from an electronics graduate, you can work in electronics company like Hitachi or Samsung or Sony, and and work there. But I always feel that while I'm an engineering student, that's it. Okay, but what I like to do is I love to talk, I like to go, I like to travel, I like to meet people, and I think that is where I understand that a career should be by choice and not by chance. When I say chance, chance is what I get a company in my campus, and I took a job there. But I wanted to be a photographer, but I never went ahead and started doing professional photography, because I think I'm an engineering student. Why will I do photography? People will laugh on me. But I don't think so that happens this way. If you like photography, I'm sure the way you work in your photography career is way better than you work in any other career you choose. So always listen your heart and always do what you love. And that's what I did actually, frankly. And being from I'm from Kota, in Rajasthan. It's an IIT hub, as you can imagine, and a lot of people you see is only running behind IIT. That's it. And I think my parents, when I was in 10th standard, asked me that, do you want to do an IIT? I said, why? I don't want to do an IIT because I don't think so. I can crack that exam, but I want to do something which I love. And I think they supported me that. They never said, you should do this, you should do that. They said, okay, whatever you do it in a better way. That's it. So I from my upbringing, I always heard that these things from my parents, that do whatever you like. Don't do something which you don't like, because your focus, your passion to do that will be 50%. Do something which you can do at least take it to 80-90% passion and aggression. And that's how while I joined engineering, because you to get into sales or to kind of travel, you have to first do a bachelor's and then do masters. But I think and engineering also helped me a lot, frankly speaking, because you want to know a lot of things, you want to talk to a lot of people, and when you go out of your home, that's always a good interaction with different people out there. And I think I passed out from my engineering in 2008, and as all I did in college was I read a lot of novels. Frankly, I almost finished about 400 novels in my 4 years. I think I was like pro reader. I want to read everything out there, and that's what I like actually. More than actually exam books, which of course led me to trouble many times. But I think you should. I love reading novels, and after passing out, I wanted to do something I like. So I went to a company and said, hey, I want to do sales. And these guys asked me that, hey, you are an engineering student. Why do you want to do in sales? Okay, why don't you join us as a coder? Just code for us. I said, no, I don't want to code because I don't like it. Okay, they said, but then why did you do engineering? I said, see, I went to engineering because I want to choose a career in sales, and I have to do graduation. And I think they said, okay, fine, we'll get you in trainings. And they were a company doing point of sale installation for a big brand. So they said, okay, why don't you go and train our folks there, and that is where you can try. So I said, fine. I joined this company, and I think I remember I used to get about how much? 15,000 rupees a month, I guess. Yeah. And I used to travel from bus. The office used to be in Noida, 2 hours, one way, 2 hours back to home. We used to travel in Delhi, meet a lot of big retail companies, give them training on how to use our system and all. It was very good. I loved it. And but I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, wanted to do something. And I used to love, frankly, run a company one day. And then because of that, I left that company about a year back, and and thought that to do something unique. And I got a friend who gave me an idea that e-commerce is booming. So we can do something around e-commerce industry, and that's where we got an idea to do a technology called NLP, which is natural language processing. So when you go to imagine when e-commerce was started about 6 years back, when Flipkart was selling books, or when Shop Clues used to be there, or Fashion and You used to be there, if you guys remember. When you go to this website and type women's red shoes size 6, you see that the website is giving you very relevant results. It understands what do you mean by this query, which means the website understands that women is a gender, red is a color, size is a number, and 6 is a number. And that's what we used to do. We've got a technology from US called NLP, and we started working with Indian clients. And that was my first kind of exposure to the real technology and real struggle of being an entrepreneur. I think we ran this. We worked in that company for about 1.5 or 2 years, and my co-founder got a H1B even from a very big company in US, and he said, okay, I'm going because I think I'll earn there better, and I think he left. And that's where we sold this company to a US-based company, and I started working again. But I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and that's where FarEye came into picture. I think I met my very good friend and a CEO of this company, and we taught and taught and taught. And I think the next day I joined that company. It was a very small company, and our dream is to go global. Kind of Make in India, came recently, right? When our Prime Minister said that, hey, we should we should go more local than global. But we used to think this 5 years back that Indian company to go global, sell a technology to companies like BMW, which is considered to be the best in technology, and prove that Indian technology can be world class as well. That was our dream, and we really, and that's where my thinking is that if you do something which you love, you'll definitely do it aggressively. And I think I remember from day one to till date, I never felt that I'm working. I never felt that it's 12 o'clock in the night and you don't have to work, because it's something I'm crazy about. And we have achieved several milestones in this last 5 years. So you guys can go to our website. It's www.getfareye.com. We started from India. We went to GCC with in Dubai and these countries. We went to Southeast Asia with Singapore and all these, Indonesia, Philippines, and we started our office in Europe and US. And frankly speaking, I've traveled to all these countries, met different kind of people, met so many experienced folks, CIOs, CTOs, CEOs, and frankly, when you do something from passionately, when you do something which you love, the way you talk to them is very different. And when they hear your journey, that how a small company from India has become such big, and got so many huge clients, they really admire and they really want to be a part of that journey as well. And that's what we do. We're doing right now, and we are able to achieve milestones like we are the first Indian company to raise funds from a very significant big investor called SAS Partners. They are a global top 3 investors, and their portfolios are like Make My Trip, Paytm, and they invested in FarEye. It's the first B2B investment in our space, because most of the investment happens in B2C in companies like Amazon, Flipkart, Shopify, or Snapdeal. But we were the first to raise funds from them. And then we raised our second round from DHL, Deutsche Post in Germany. Then recently we raised from Microsoft Ventures and Honeywell and Fidelity Investment. So we love what we do, and we do what we love. That's the whole idea. And I think I'll stop now. And if anybody out there has any questions, feel free to just throw it on me. I'll try and answer it as much as I can.
First of all, good morning, sir. It's a great honor to have you with us on this online session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, we are actually talking about career by choice. So I want to know, there are a lot of people who actually don't get to know what they actually want to do in life. Sometimes there is a great possibility that one might not actually recognize their strength, what they want to pursue. What would you suggest to such people? How should they go about their career? Like, should they go by chances, like whatever the opportunity they are getting at the moment, and see what they can do, or is there any other way around?
Okay. See, I think let me give you an example. First of all, you know yourself better. Nobody, no third person can know you better than you. That I'm sure you all can agree to that, right? Which means I know what I can do and I know what I can't do deep from my heart. Though we always say, no, I can do everything, but you know that it's not true, right? Which means everybody knows themselves pretty well. Now, coming back to a question about career by choice or by chance, frankly speaking, it's not like if you started something by chance, you can't change it, right? It's not like that. Of course, see, life is very unpredictable, as I mentioned, and it's not, you can't make it 100% sure that you only go by a choice. You have to go by chance as well, which is fine, right? You can see, you guys are in engineering right now. I'm not sure whether it is by choice or by chance, but I'm sure you thought about it, correct? Now, for example, what do you like? Okay, let me ask you a question. What do you want to do in your life? Have you thought about it yet?
Well, yes, sir. Actually, I'm looking forward to go into the research field of inside the sports thing. Using the technology, I want to improve the facilities and the technological improvements which can be made in sports.
Which means you are in the right profession. You're doing the right thing right now. Which means you are in a good college with good faculty and reading, and studying electronics or computer, which is good, right? And see, when I say, so end of the day, all we have to do is to basically do whatever we get in our life with our 100% potential. That's it. And if we don't like it during the way, so for example, some of you may don't like computer science, but they somehow got into a computer science field, right? They can always do it and basically try to do it as good as they can, right? You don't quit. Just don't quit, right? Hang on there. And when you go out there, when you pass out from the college, think what you like and then change it, right? Or if you don't get that opportunity, stick to that till the time you get an opportunity. See, it's never, nobody is forcing you to stick with something which you don't like. Nobody does that, right? For example, if later, right now you want to do research, but later you want to do, say you want to go into cooking, for example, right? I don't think so. If you like it, nobody will come and stop you that, hey, why are you cooking? Because see, right now, startup and entrepreneur, you can see these are the times when people want to do something on their own. They know, people have more of an entrepreneur mind. I think this has changed from last 3-4 years. When you hear about a lot of startups, a lot of exciting companies doing good, everybody want to experiment, and I don't think so people can stop you. So whatever you're doing, just stick there, try and do that. I'll give you an example. I wrote a book called The Girl I Know. I wrote it in 2016. It's there on Amazon.com. Just go and write The Girl I Know. I'll give you this example for this girl. So I was in US. I was in Boston. Right now, Boston as a city, is a very US kind of. So you don't find many Indians because most of our Indians in New York, New Jersey, where you have many offices. Right. Boston is more of a US where people go after retirement. Boston, they have a Hard Institute, MIT is there, it's a beautiful place. And I was there for a conference. I love Indian food, so I kind of Googled, Indian restaurants near to me, and I saw one restaurant about 1 mile away. I went to that restaurant, right, and I ordered something. While I ordered, I was thinking that okay, the food will be average because see in US, it can't be same as in India, right? But it was very exceptional. And when I actually I wanted to talk about this, the owner of the restaurant, because I couldn't believe the taste. Frankly speaking, it's better than you get in Jaipur. It's better than you get in Rajasthan, right? I went to the waiter and I asked who is the owner, and this guy said that ma'am is not here. She's out, so you can come sometime later. I went there again next day. After 2-3 times, I actually met that person. So this lady I met owns about 6 restaurants in US. She's a big restaurant. She has a big restaurant business, right? And when you meet somebody outside India, you quickly connect, right? You don't have to make efforts to make a friendship and all. So, she said that, hey, you're from India. Okay, I'll show you around Boston and we can go for a coffee. So we went out for a coffee and I told her, and because my understanding was to run a business, you need money. So I said, you must be must be rich. You have rich parents and, that's why आपने restaurant खोला यार. I mean, restaurant business तो पैसे से होता है, right? And she was like, what made you think that I'm rich? Who told you this? And why are you assuming this? I want to do something which I love, and I pursued that. And then she narrated me her story, and that from from a very poor family to a successful entrepreneur, what she did, and I was like shocked. And frankly, in India, while we talk about all kind of equalities, right, men, women, girl, boy, but I think there is a difference which exists deep in our hearts. And when I heard her story, I thought, like, I want to write it, and I want to basically tell it to all parents, all girls out there, who want to do something different, but their society, don't let them to do that, right? I wrote that story. So, and that you guys, you should definitely read that book. That tells you that if you like something, you passionately follow it, you'll definitely be successful. And that, as I said, that book is very close to my heart because that, and especially for girls, right? If there are any girls in the session, you always hear that why you don't do this, you don't do that. This book breaks all that stereotypes, and it helps you, and it motivates you to do whatever you love in the life. So just to kind of conclude on a question, whatever comes your way, just try and do it with 100% passion, and correct if you don't like, try and correct it on the way. Don't just sit and do nothing and say, okay, I will do what I like and I don't do what I don't like. Don't do that, right? Because see, world is fast moving. Everybody's doing something, and you don't want to be left behind. So take the opportunity, give your 100% to that opportunity, and then try and correct it during the time if you don't like it. But don't sit ideal, because every day you waste, every day you don't do nothing or you don't learn, right? You are wasting your life, because humans, we have to evolve, right? Homo sapiens. Go and read that book called Sapiens. It's by Yuval Noah Harari, right? We are sapiens. We are evolving every day, and we have to learn. The time we stop learning, I think our evolution stops. So just do whatever you're doing good, and try and see how can you change if you don't like that. Yeah, does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. It served the answer. It served the purpose as expected from you. To the point. Exactly. Wonderful answer, sir. I would ask Yogesh Sangtani to ask the next question to you.
Hello, sir. We
Hi.
are very glad to interact with you. Sir, I have a question that sometimes we chose the career whose jobs are dominating in the market and the job which has a hype in the market. But we, at the some point of time, we also think that with the time we will develop the interest in that topic. So, is it a right approach or not?
Of course. Yeah. So, for example, let me give you an example for that. When you were small, your mother used to tell you, okay, eat this vegetable, right? But you say, no, I don't like it. But over a period of time, you start liking it. So it's okay, right? And frankly, see, there are a few things which you like, but you don't know whether you can do it or not. See, there is a difference between what you can do better and what you love. There can be a thin line between it. For example, I love photography, but I can't click good pictures, right? But I can do something better. So if you started liking something during the way, nothing like it. See, it's nobody born with a ambition in their brains, right? It comes after we start growing up by looking at and seeing things. So on the journey, during your journey, if you like something, go ahead and just do it a way that nobody can do better than you. That's it. I think that's, you try to do it the best, and trust me, you will start loving it more and more. So
Okay.
it's a vicious circle. You do what you love what you do. But if you love something, do it in a way that nobody can do better than you.
Okay,
And
sir.
I'm sure everything will be fine.
Yes. Sir, I have another question that as a student, as an engineering student, I love to explore many things. Like I explore in graphic designing, in video editing, sometimes in web development, in machine learning. But
Yeah.
at some point of time, I got confused at in which technology that I should pursue my career or follow the path to make a success. So, sir, what should I do at that point of time?
Yeah, frankly, that's a very tricky question, to be very frank. See, graphic designing, and what you said, what's the second thing you said?
Video editing,
Video editing,
website development.
website development. They both are pretty good. I'm talking specifically to what you said, because you are comparing graphic designing versus web designing, which is very good. Now, what you have to do is, you have to do which particular you can do graphic designing better, or you can do web development better. Because I think, if you ask my suggestion, both of these things are equally exciting, and you can, frankly, you can choose one. You can go for a graphic designing, and if you think you don't like it, or you can do better in web development, you can choose that, right? But don't don't focus on both if you like it. Frankly, web designing is not, you can do both of these together. So just go the opportunity which you get. So for example, you are getting an opportunity of web designing right now, but you want to do graphic designing. Will you leave that opportunity and look for graphic designing? No, you will pursue it. So just grab the opportunity which you get. Don't leave any opportunity because you are confused, right? I'm sure you will figure out during the way. I'm sure you'll
Okay,
figure
sir.
it.
Yes, sir. Sir, I also love to explore in share market. So, can you give some advice that as an engineering student, we should invest or not
Yeah.
in our college days?
Frankly speaking, I don't have an answer for this, because it's personal opinion, right? I mean, first of all, to invest in share market, you should have a surplus amount of money in your account, which it's a gamble. Honestly speaking, for example, you should keep about some amount, 2 lakh rupees, as a surplus amount, and forget about it. If you lose 2 lakh, you should don't be see. Share market is something which you should do when you have surplus money in your bank account. That's what I believe. I will not do it if I am hand to mouth, or if I don't spare say some amount every month, right? Because it's high chances you lose it. So it's good. I mean, you can learn about how to invest in share market, right? You can download. There is a website app called Zerodha, if you heard about, right? Zerodha.com, Zerodha, right? You can download it. You can learn about it. Start investing 50 rupees, 100 rupees. Don't invest much so that you lose it. See, when you earn your money, you can do whatever you want. But right now, your parents are earning for you. So don't waste your money right now. Learn about it, because it's good. You get a lot of financial information, which company is doing good, which company is doing bad. When do you invest in such a company? So, for example, during COVID, right, Domino's shares are 200% up, right? But same shares were at 60% before COVID, when things were normal. So you have to, learn about it, but I don't think you should invest it right now. Just wait a bit, uh, get a job, and then you start investing on it. While it's a good, I don't see any problem in learning about share market. Yeah, awesome. Anybody else? Dhruv?
Wonderfully answered, sir. I would like to ask Dhruv to ask the questions he has.
Sure.
He seems to be practicing a lot during your answer, like lip sync and seeing how to go about it.
No worries, Dhruv. Yeah, you will do wonderful. Please, shoot on me. I can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
Dhruv, please unmute your mic.
No, I can't hear you, Dhruv.
All right, sir. Till he gets back, I have a question for you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, there are a lot of times that we as a student face a dilemma. Like there is at one side we have a career of choice, like following the dreams. We know what we are good at. We know everything about our strengths and weaknesses. And on the other end, we have the peer pressure from parents and relative to pursue a particular career choice. How should we go about it? How should we overcome this obstacle? Like, should we go for the career of choice, or should we actually follow what our parents and relatives ask us to do?
Okay, tell me. I'll give you a quick context. Tell me this: uh, does your parents know? See, end of the day, frankly, their advice is coming from their experience in life, right? So, for example, every parent out there want to see their child in getting independent and do something good. So it's very important, right? Because they're concerned about you, so they can always tell you that do this, do that, and you have to respect it, right? Because uh, they have actually invested their entire life to you guys, right? So it's very important to understand their feelings, right? And understand that they want good things about you. right? But at the same time, you have to understand that they are at, so they may live at Ajmer, they are at Kota, they are at Delhi, they are in Bombay. They have their limited knowledge of things, right? The exposure of outside things. They are only telling you by hearing what his, what your father's friend's son is doing, right? So I don't think so. You have to see, peer pressure is something which exists everywhere. It's not only in college. It's there when you work. It's there when you do anything, right? So I don't think so. You have to worry about peer pressure, because frankly that's a I don't think so. That's a very important thing to do. What you need to do is, for example, see, I'll give you an example. Right now, you are in third year, right? You're in third year of your engineering. Now you will have your campus next year, and I'm sure you are thinking a lot of things. You have a lot of worry that what will happen. Will I get a job or not? Right. All I'm saying is that don't worry about it, because see, when you drive a car, when you start driving a car, or when you're learning how to drive a car, and you only looking at steering and only look at your accelerator and brake, you can't focus on road, right? I'll give you my example. I remember in 2008 when we had our campus. ICC Bank came into our to our college, right? No, we have to go to Hyderabad, our Icfai Hyderabad branch, for this ICSE campus, and I think we traveled from train. We didn't get tickets, so I think I remember I was sleeping in the just between the seats, on the floor. Me and my roommate, went all the way to Hyderabad by sleeping on the floor because we couldn't get any tickets. I reached there and my father called me and said that, hey, you know, uh, if you get a job, party hard. If you don't get a job, just party more. Don't party for one day, party for 2 days, right? Because, and frankly, when he told me this, I was like, my the pressure which was in my mind, that what will happen if I fail, just vanished. And honestly speaking, and trust me, that really, while I didn't get that job, right? I didn't get a job, but in my mind, I knew that my life is not a waste. I'm sure I will do something. So I'm not, maybe most of the parents or many of your parents have a different opinion, but frankly speaking, just relax, because see, end of the day, I'm sure something good will happen in your journey. I'm 100% sure about it. Have you ever seen somebody, or have you ever seen anyone in your life who has done nothing in their life and just wasted? I don't think so that you know anyone around you, right? Just think about your seniors, juniors, friends out there, right? Maybe they're not as successful as they want to be, but still they're surviving. They're coping it. See, there are two things, one, right? Money in your wallet and peace in your mind. And I think I prefer peace in your mind more than money in your wallet. So let me give you an example. See, peace of mind is the most healthy mind is the most important thing. Trust me. Recently, right? You all heard about Sushant Singh Rajput, right? He died. He committed suicide, right? Now he has a life which many of us dream of, right? He's got money, he's got fame, he was handsome, good, he's got the dream car, everything he has perfect, right? But he still died because what he didn't have is a peace of mind. So trust me, in your life you'll realize, and it's a very hard thing to understand. Trust me, it's like in the age where you guys are in, you think that money is the most important factor for you to be happy. It's not. The peace of mind is the most important thing, and the peace of mind comes by thinking that whatever I do in my life, even if I'm earning 5,000 rupees a month, if I'm happy, my life is worth it. See, no money is enough. Let me tell you this. I've seen days where I was earning 10,000 rupees. I've seen where I was earning 1 lakh rupees. I've seen a lot of things, but every stage I used to think when I reach there, I'll be happy. When I reach from 10 to 50, I'll be happy. 50 to 1 lakh, I'll be happy. But frankly, I was never happy, because every time I reach there, I have a different goal in my mind. I have to go somewhere. That's what we humans are. So whatever, you just love it and just be it. Sleep at night with peace in your mind that you will do something good, because you can have billions in your account, but if you're not happy, it's not worth it. So what? And this came back to the thing which I was referring earlier. be happy and content in your life, because no money you will earn will be enough, right? You may be, see, let me give you an example. Your parents may be saying that, hey, you should do research, right? Now when you get to research, you're still not happy, because your mind is always looking for something else. You want to go somewhere else, you want to become the head of research department. We have to get that content, feeling in our mind to be happy. And frankly, no money can buy you happiness. I've seen people in my life who are, you know, just outside my society. There is this, cart vendor who sells this, chole kulche, and he every day he got his, kids to the stall, because he's alone. He don't have any wife. His wife passed away, and I see those kids playing on the road, right, happily. Trust me, my son crips because he don't have toys, but these guys are playing with anything they found on the road, and they're just being so happy. So just be happy in what you do. Trust me, you'll be very, very happy in life. And I don't think so you will ever regret this suggestion to be content, because healthy mind is the most important thing. Healthy mind is most important. Your wallet can be empty, but if your mind is healthy, you'll be happy throughout your life. I want to die happy. I want to die, sitting in a one room. I don't mind that, but I should be happy. I don't mind, earning millions, but have a tension in my mind that what will happen next. I don't want to do that. So that's my biggest suggestion to you guys. Yeah.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful, wonderful. Now that our friend Dhruv is back, I would like to pass on the baton to him so that he can ask his question.
Awesome, group. Finally, you're on.
Morning, sir, and it's been great to have you with us. Sir, as we see, like everybody not get don't get their career as by choice. So, under what circumstances would you suggest to like someone will go with as a career as a chance, not by choice? Like,
I
what would be
think.
the resistance?
Okay, now tell me this. What do you want to do in life, and what are you doing right now? Give me an example. What do you
Sorry,
want to do? What do you want to do after engineering?
sir, I wanna go like a sports analyst and
You want to become a
thing.
sports analyst, right?
Yes,
And okay, and you think that you love that career, right?
yes, sir.
Okay. And have you researched about it? That what do sports analysts do? Okay, who is the biggest sports analyst in India?
Sir, as like there are many like as not specific, I know
Tell me top three.
exactly don't know.
Correct. Which means, see, whatever you want to do in life, research it thoroughly. You should know that how can you become an analyst. See, as far as my understanding is concerned, to be a sports analyst, you have to be in sports at some point in time in your life. See, to talk about a thing, you should live that thing, right? And so, just to answer a question, you want to be in sports analyst, but right now you're doing engineering, right? My suggestion to you is you make sure that you basically give your 100% to what you're doing right now. Don't think about that, because this is what you have right now. Start living in a moment. Try and complete your engineering with your best of potential, whatever you can do best. It can be 50%, can be 60, doesn't matter, right? just just go through this entire thing. Get a job, right? Because see, I'm sure your parents wanted to see you working, right? And you also want to work. Get a job, then invest 1 year doing that particular job. Then if you still feel that sports analyst is something you want to do, start doing that in parallel of your job. Don't leave a job and start doing it without knowing about the results, or without knowing about what it can make you achieve in your life. Then if things are fine with the sports analyst thing, leave your job and do it. So I wanted to write a book. I wanted to be a writer, right? But I never left my job, because see, when I was writing a book, most of my folks told me that out of 100 people who started writing, only 3 can finish, because it needs a lot of patience, right? You are writing about 250 pages, thinking about it, and the way you speak and the way you write is totally different, right? You just can't write the way you speak. You have to make it in a way that whosoever is reading it can understand the entire content, right? But I wanted to do it, so I stopped I used to go to office. I used to leave my office at 8 o'clock, came back at 6 o'clock. I used to write. I used to wake up at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. Used to write for 2 hours. I stopped partying actually. For entire 6 months, I stopped partying. I only followed writing, and I wanted to complete it. I completed it. Right. So do it parallel to what you're doing right now. Don't leave what you do because you think that something you want to do is better for you. Don't do that, because see, when you reach to that place, you will understand that no, I think what I'm doing is better as well. So do it. For example, I never left my job because I went to a company and requested that I wanted to be in sales. I never said that I don't want to work with you. If you don't give me a sales job, I'll go out. I said, okay, I'll do it everything, whatever I get. But during that time, I convinced them that I can do this better, and I showed them how can I do this better. So don't leave anything. Just do whatever you're doing absolutely with your full heart. That's the key. Yeah. Any?
We are almost at the end of the session. Vignesh, any more
Yes, sir.
question?
Yes, sir. One more question is that, like, I want to have an
Well,
insight about.
you may have not written most of the question. You can ask me question which you have not written as well. Don't worry about it. Just ask whatever you want. Trust me,
All
I would
right,
love
sir.
to.
There is a very common saying, like, choices are made when you have the chances, and
Mhm.
chances are taken when you have choices. How will you
Mhm.
justify it, and how much will you agree with it?
You have to repeat it again. Yeah, sorry, I missed it.
All right, sir, no issues. There is a very common saying which says, choices are made when you have the chances, and chances are taken when you have choices. How much do you
Correct.
agree with it, and how are you going to justify it?
So, that is what I call as a vicious circle. So what you mentioned is a vicious circle only, right? So you will make a choice when you have a chance, right? And you will only get a chance when you have a choice, right? Which means, for example, you wanted to start a company, right? But you never sit in a campus. Without sitting in a campus, how will you start a company, right? Because when you don't see, end of the day, we humans, the way God has kind of programmed us is we think always one step ahead where we are right now. So you should definitely get a choice. So you should get a placement, which is very important because everybody needs a start, right? You talk. See, there are a lot of cases where people left college and started a company, right? That's always fair. You can do that as well. But considering you have a very genius idea in your mind, right? If you, frankly speaking, if you right now in third year think that this idea can change the world, why not? Why don't you work it parallel to what you're doing right now? So get a choice, get a placement, and then take chances. Because see, end of the day, when you are doing something right now, earning something, right? You got a job, you will have peace in mind. You have a lot of peace in your mind to think about other things as well. Don't, I mean, see, all, if you hear this session again, all I'm pushing you is that whatever opportunity comes to you right now, just grab it. Don't think what will happen after 1 year, because nobody knows it. To be very frank, if human being or if humans can crack that particular thing that we know what will happen after a year, trust me, we will not be happy. Happiness comes because we don't know what will happen tomorrow. You know, trust me, that is why we are happy today. Because if we, everybody or every out there, if we know what will happen tomorrow, nobody will be happy. Or the energy, the excitement we get because it's everything is uncertain. So all I'm pushing is, you guys are in a wonderful college. You guys have wonderful, amazing authority. Amazing faculties. Just do it with your full heart. Just don't get sad. Don't get sad because you say you got a back in one. Nobody will ask you in your life that, Dhruv, have you received a back? Trust me, nobody in my 15 years career asked me that what was my percentage in 10th standard. Nobody asked me this. Trust me, nobody. It's just a number on the paper, right? You have to just show a paper that you were there and you have passed that out, right? And then you got a job, you have to do, see, your marks in college doesn't make sure that your performance in college is good, in your job is good. Can they? No, right? You are a top you got 90% in your last semester, right? But does it make sure that you will do good in job as well? No, right? what will what will make sure that you will good in your job? The way you work that particular time. So we have to live in today. We don't have to think about what will happen. So as you said, I think I completely agree with this, that you have to get a choice to get a chance and chance to get a choice. So yeah, I agree with this.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot. Loved your answer, sir.
Sumit, final, your concluding remarks.
So I think I think I said whatever I was thinking to kind of to the message which I want to pass on to the students. But I mean, honestly speaking, if I have to summarize what I said in 5 minutes, is that we as all of you who are listening to this this broadcast right now are in top 5% people in the world, because there are a lot of people who don't have access to internet, don't have access to these kind of things in life. So start appreciating what you have, right? When the moment you start appreciating what you have, you will see that you will be very happy, right? And while it's very easy to say, it's very hard to live, because there are a lot of people who don't have basic amenities in their life, right? So what I believe is, personally, I want to give back to society. My strong belief is that whatever you got here in your life is because of this society, and you have to give it back. Which means when you become someone, doesn't matter you have to be millionaire or billionaire. Even if you earn 50,000, you should make sure that you spend some amount in helping people who is in need. That is why we are people, we are human beings, right? Because we have heart and we think, right? We are not animals, right? A tiger in the jungle will not let another tiger eat even if he's dying, right? Because he's an animal. But we are human beings, we have heart and brains, right? We can think. So you always have to give back to society. Trust me, if you start doing that, whatever you will be doing, you in your mind, you will be successful. Because see, end of the day, you don't want people to tell you that, hey, you are successful. I don't need that, frankly speaking. Even tomorrow, I'll be sitting at my home only writing a book. I know in my mind that I am successful because I know things which most of the people don't know. So be content, be happy, and just give back to society. Just have a very good heart. Don't do bad to people, right? Just because this is the time when we do. And frankly, this is what I'm making my son learn as well. So my son never asked for a birthday party. All he says is that, because he's 7 years old. So when he was 1 year old, all we did is we went to an orphanage, made sure we celebrate his birthday in an orphanage where nobody wants to come, right? So just make somebody happy just make your somebody near you happy. I'm sure you will like it. It's more than money. It's more than, you will be successful in your mind. That's it. That's all I want to say. I hope that makes sense, whatever I'm saying. I mean, that's what I believe.
Thank you, Sumit. We are really proud of you. It was really such a wonderful session. Vignesh, what of thanks?
Well, sir, it was really a wonderful session, very enlightening, and the purpose was really served. All the questions were really answered to the point as expected from you. But yes, due to the lack of time, we couldn't share much of anecdotes and hear it from you. We really wanted to have that, but then lack of time once again. But then we would be more than happy to have you on campus someday and interact with the students and enlighten us. We'd be more than happy to welcome you to the campus.
Would love to, yeah. Would love to meet you all. And this COVID has frankly changed the entire world. But I'm pretty sure it'll end, very soon, and people can go out and meet people again the way we used to do, right? I used to travel a lot. I used to be, I used to be on in the flight. At one point in time, I started living in a suitcase. So because I'm always traveling, and now I'm at my home from last 5 months. So it's pretty irritating. But yeah, I'm sure things will fine, and everything will be fine. But I would love to be there. Yeah.
Okay, Sumit, thank you very much. Signing off.
Thank you, sir. See you guys. All the best, and look forward to meet you all soon. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks a lot, sir.